They're trying to tell us something. They have figured out the formula for chaos.
When the clock strikes 8:30, babe, time to head for Chris's house. Hey. Will the song make it to the next round?
Oh no.
Pot of Thunder. Let's pot tonight. Come on, baby, let's pot tonight.
Woo! Woo! Put your hands together for Doc Gibbs and the Emerald Live Band. Woo! Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting. Brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And you know me.
And he's about to do another episode of the show. Ooh, the more he does for us, the better we feel. Yeah. Now he's got a sound drop on tap that will make us all laugh until we shit.
Wow. Good stuff right off the top. Ooh. I didn't know it was going to keep going. I thought it was over.
There should be more.
It never ends.
When you tackle sealed material, you have to lay it all out there. So
I guess so.
Inspired.
Yeah, it was. Very good. You know me, it's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. And, as always, I'm joined by this man. Look at him. Here he comes. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Hey, hey, hey.
Polka dancing his way across the podcast studio. Nick Polak.
What the hell is going on?
Nick Polak has joined the program. Nick, welcome.
Thank you.
Nick's doing a dance for everybody. Got a little penny in his hat. A little spending money for later. It's going to be a good weekend for Nick.
I'm gonna buy an orange Sour Patch Kid.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say an orange.
Just buying orange.
An old orange.
It's going to be a good weekend for me. I'm going to buy an orange.
He's going to go to a farmer's market and just buy one orange.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, and directly to Nick's left. You want him. We got him.
Can have it every day, yeah. I can have it. Get out of my way, yeah. Fuck you.
Yes, put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium. That is Chris L. We are Pot of Thunder, and you may have heard a fourth voice. Oh, I think you did.
Jericho! Oh! His voice is music to our ears. Jericho! Oh! His voice is music to our ears.
Yes, welcome back, buddy. Chris Jericho's back in the house.
Always a pleasure. Anytime the wife goes somewhere on a Friday night, I know exactly what I want to do, which is why I send her away on Friday nights as much as possible so I can join the illustrious panel here on Pot of Thunder.
Well, welcome back. You know, it was funny. I was looking at how many times you've been on. I would like you to guess. How many times have you been on Pot of Thunder?
Okay.
Don't look.
I'm not looking. I can't look. So I was telling my good friend today about the show.
Okay.
And I said I've probably been on maybe 20 times, perchance.
You know, I'd like Nick and other Chris L to guess as well. How many times do you think he's been on? Not including our episodes on Talk is Jericho. Just how many times has Chris Jericho been on Pot of Thunder?
What do you think, Chris?
I'm going to say 25.
Nick?
$1. I'm going to go 28.
Including this episode now, it's 33 times.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
When was the first one? Turn on the Night or
Yeah, Turn on the Night.
What year was that? Do you think 2016?
16, like late fall, like, or I don't know, sometime
16 or 17?
16.
All right,
16.
so in 7 years, I've been on 33 times. That's like 5 times a year, which is pretty much once every couple months. That's a good ratio.
That is good. That's
It's a
perfect.
good clip.
There was one random year where you were not on, though. I was looking at all the dates. There was like 15 months where you weren't on.
I think we had a falling out at that point. That's when Chris L called me a C-level celebrity or
Well,
something.
that happened immediately. So I don't know. Maybe that took a while to sink in. It's like, who the fuck does this guy think?
What's the all-time favorite Jericho episode? The first one that jumps in your mind?
I think the one with your dad.
Yeah.
Rock Me Tonight. With
Yeah, it's
Jericho.
hard to top that one. But
That was a classic.
I always refer back to Boys Are Gonna Rock because you guys were dueling it out on the Grey Goose bottle, and of course Andy came up on the short end of that.
That's probably my least favorite.
What do you think, Nick?
And this is not a slight to the gentleman sitting to my left, but the Shocker episode was so goofy and so fun.
Yeah. That was great. The Shocker episode was amazing.
It
Guy
was-
Man Dude.
yeah.
And then, of course, my favorite, I mean, runner-up has to be Street Heart with Daryl,
Yeah.
who still lives
Oh,
on stage.
true.
But my all-time favorite is David Lee Roth, A Little Ain't Enough.
Oh, goodness.
That could be the other.
Yeah.
1A and 1B.
I think
That one.
that might be my
That
favorite, actually.
batshit crazy video, how fucking crazy it was. Good times. But tonight could be even better.
Yeah,
Let's
we
just say that.
might be able to top it tonight. We've got people listening live tonight, our Patreon members. We got them listening from all over the globe. Got them in, let's see, America, Canada, Australia, the UK. Oh, that's why you're on, to promote your show at Wembley,
Yeah.
to sell those last few tickets to our UK listeners.
Well, Wembley, and then also too Fozzy playing at the O2 Forum in Town on the Friday. So it's a Chris Jericho weekend next week with Fozzy on Friday and AW at Wembley on Sunday.
That's pretty exciting, huh?
So those of you over there, get tickets if you don't have them already. Make it happen.
Well, it's crazy to me because my favorite gig of all time is Queen Live Aid at Wembley Stadium. And what I've heard is that we have sold more tickets than Live Aid did in 1985, which is very cool.
That's insane, huh? I mean, it's awesome, but wow, when you put it that way, jeez.
Yeah.
But have you sold more tickets than Gorky Park at the Moscow Music and Peace Festival in 89? Wasn't that it?
Hey man, Marco Mendoza fulfilling his dream.
That's the high.
Gorky Park.
That's the high water mark of all rock and roll live
It really is.
performances.
That's a goal for 2024, maybe.
I feel like Gorky Park was kind of like put together like the Monkees were. Like they weren't even real musicians. They were just a couple guys that looked cool, so they put them in a band together.
Yeah.
And
Could have
had like,
been.
you know, had Stotch McGillicuddy or whatever the guy's name, the manager's name, was really playing all the instruments. Maybe It's
Yeah.
kind
Could
of
have
what I'm
been. You never know.
Was it not Doc McGee? He just hired them on. He was not their manager.
I don't know if he was
Oh.
their manager
Okay.
per se. He just
I
needed some local talent to actually fill the venue, not these other scrubs on the bill.
right.
Yeah.
I think Doc actually did manage them because it helped him get out of some of the drug charges.
I think so. Yeah. It was
The Russian mob helped him get
Well,
out of
that's-
the trafficking.
I might have just said, you know what, lock me up for 20 years. I think I'd prefer that over managing Gorky Park. But
You
what do
must
I know?
manage Gorky Park if you want to get out of drug charge. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. They're going to be huge.
They were huge.
They were. There was that thing going on.
Gorky Park thing of 1989
Yep.
and onward.
Yeah, and then
man.
as far as we know, not much going on, and then suddenly it's the boyhood dream of Marco Mendoza
I mean,
to join the band.
who's next? Lukather? I mean, who's going to be?
what is going
honestly-
on?
Hey, listen, you guys know, everyone remembers where they were during the Gorka Mania summer of 1989.
I do. Yeah.
What you going to do when Gorka Mania runs wild?
Okay, so we're here.
Did Nikolai Volkov rather?
Nikolai Volkov.
Did he
Who's
ever
it
come?
Koloff to?
Did he ever come to the ring with With one
Can
of
you
those
name a guy in Gorky Park?
Well, Nikolai Volkov was the guy who used to come to the ring and sing the Russian national anthem.
Yeah.
What people don't know is originally he was going to sing the Gorky Park song, but nobody knows one, including us right now. So
Well, these two idiots do.
he used to come to the ring and sing "Talking About My Generation,"
Yeah.
as covered by Gorky Park.
And Bang. Those are the two songs. Everybody knows Bang.
I don't know Bang. I know everything about heavy metal. I don't know Bang.
Everybody knows Bang.
The problem is, though, they wanted the crowd to boo him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they would have booed Hogan if he came out singing Bang. Hogan would have been booed out of MSG.
Playing
Vince-
air bass the whole time.
Vince was pissed that first night in Philly at the Forum at the Spectrum when Nikolai came out and sang Bang and people booed Hogan out of the building. It was quite a famous story. You guys should look it up in the Wrestling Observer.
They swept that under the rug, huh?
They really did.
Okay, so here we are. It's Friday evening as we're recording this. Had a nice dinner. I could go for a dessert. Nick, get out the foil. What do you got?
Well, I
hungry.
didn't bake anything.
What? So you bought something?
I have something.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
What is it?
I
What
didn't.
is it?
I didn't. It's something from a listener actually.
Oh. What is that?
It's
It's not a baked
Do you wanna-
treat.
no, it's not a baked treat.
Well, just play the theme
Well,
music
let
anyway.
me see what that is.
Play the music
You had something
anyway.
else I'm doing?
I did.
What is that?
It's a candy bar.
Candy bar.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's for you, so...
You ain't got no shit for me. Ooh.
Yes.
So it looks like it's just for Nick today.
no,
no
we can
big treat.
No, we can share it.
I'm not sharing a candy bar from a listener with you. That's just for you.
You're gonna break it in thirds. It's not like he's gonna take a bite out of it and pass it over.
and he's
to
just
you.
mad because I didn't bake anything.
I don't eat food from strangers. It's not happening
Well,
today.
this is from our buddy Jeff.
Another Winnipegan.
This is a treat.
Oh, nice.
A treat from Winnipeg, not unlike our guest.
This isn't the guy who was burying me before from Winnipeg, was it?
It is.
It is.
Oh, well, that guy can go fuck his ass.
Have you ever had one of these? It's called a. If you want to show it to the
Yeah, I'll
camera
show it
there,
to
it's called a Big Turk.
Big
Oh,
turd.
Big Turk. Yeah.
Are you-
featuring nougat?
Are you
or
a
jelly?
Fan? Are you a fan?
Well, as a matter of fact, my friend and I, when we were in college, used to bag on Big Turks as being the worst confectionery item ever.
Okay, we're
'Cause
having
it's
it.
chocolate surrounding dried jelly or something like this.
Well,
isn't it?
it's like a Turkish delight. I didn't know it was chocolate covered. I guess we'll have to bust it open here.
What is it? I've heard of Turkish delight, but I don't know
It's
what
like
it is.
a taffy with some sort of little. I don't know if it's pieces of like jellied fruit or something like that. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I think that's what we're going with.
Yeah, jellied fruit.
Well, you can break that in two.
Jellied fruit. Jesus.
Keep that shit over there on that side of the room.
All right.
You're not going to have any?
I ain't eating that.
Play the theme song.
All right.
Okay, people love it.
Fair enough.
Who wants to eat dainties? Who wants to eat baked treats with me?
You know what's weird though?
This qualifies as a dainty, so it
suppose.
works.
But you know what's weird? The artwork on the candy bar
Yeah.
it looks a lot like Bazooka Joe. Like a little Bazooka Joe gun.
And by the way, it's been that way for like 40 years. They've never upgraded the package.
Bizarre.
Or the product. So
Neither.
Well, I'm going to
Why
try it.
mess with a winning formula?
Never had it. I'm going to try it.
Still for sale, so somebody must be eating it.
Now,
Nick?
is our Big Turks what made your friend the shit king of Winnipeg? The same guy who plugged up toilets on the regular?
and 33 episodes, that's what stuck with you. That's my legacy here on Pod of
Well,
Thunder.
it's on the list, obviously, but you know.
Yeah, don't forget, he had to. His mom had to break up the turds with an auger.
Yes.
His mom had to. How old was he? He couldn't have done this. Wouldn't you want to save some shame and do it yourself? Yeah, 15.
All that jellied fruit passing through him and into the shit pipe.
At least get your dad to do it. Don't have your
Well, yeah.
mom do
Get your
it.
dad to do it while I was watching Rock Me Tonight video.
Exactly. Take a break and do that.
He's exhausted after the video.
Oh, man.
This is an unsettling shape.
What does it look like?
Well, it's chocolate bar. It's,
Oh, it's kind of
it's like
wavy.
it's like a South Park character.
God.
I'm gonna try one.
All right.
Oh, it doesn't come apart very easily.
Not a fan. If you would have sent me a big Turk, Nick, I would have been really angry.
See? Good thing you didn't do it.
Well, couldn't get my hands on more than one, so I can't even rip it apart.
Did Jeff send you a whole bunch of stuff or just one?
He sent me like 20 things.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Okay. I was going to say, not that I'd be mad at him for it or anything, but I think the international postage for one single Big Turk would not be worth it.
He said no one likes it but him, so
he's the Big Turk.
Yeah, nobody does like it. It's the worst. It's the worst candy bar that you could get in Canada. Like I said, my friends and I literally used to make fun of it, of how it's just like literal shit on a stick. It's terrible.
Uh-oh.
So once again, another reason why I don't like this guy, Jeff from Winnipeg. Not a fan.
I'm going to have to hop on the other team. I'm not going to be on Jeff's team here.
No good.
It's not.
You don't like it,
pretty awful.
It's not that good.
I told you, it's a terrible. They should have given you Mr. Big Bar, Glossette raisins, Coffee Crisp.
I just had the Mr. Big. It was delicious.
Those are great. I love Mr. Big. Still one of the best candy bars they do not make here in the States.
It was great.
Okay, well, we got our big treat out of the way.
Yeah, this is not. Andy, you're probably
I'm
smart.
Good. I'm content over here.
But I would like to thank Jeff anyway. But yeah, not great.
Very sweet of Jeff to send that over. He's trying to make amends here on the program.
I was expecting worse, but it ain't great.
No, you wouldn't buy it yourself?
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So, we talked a little bit before about whose turn it's going to be. It's going to be Chris J's turn. He's going to be picking something that, he's had a couple videos pop up through his travels and made mental notes of a few that might be appropriate for Pot of Thunder. So he's going to choose something for us today that he thinks will be a good time, and I think he's going to be correct.
I had 3 options today that I was talking to ALB about, and one of them you had just done, but you didn't watch the video for. Because I'm a big fan of the video accompanying the song. We've always had our best episodes with that in mind.
Yes.
So should I say the one that you already have done?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it was Y&T Contagious, but you did not watch the video for it, but we've already done it, so we move on from that. So I have the pick.
Okay.
Can I just say I specifically chose this because I thought it might get Chris L's gander up.
Wow.
That is.
I'm hoping for some real Chris L snide, sarcastic remarks.
That's
for this
usually a recipe for success. So I'm on board with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And the Y&T Contagious, like you said, we didn't watch the video, but as far as the song went, I don't think there was anything exceptional as far as comedy, but you said the video did have some that we missed, huh?
It did. I just always love the fact that poor Y&T, and we're not even going to talk about it, we're just wasting time here, but the Y&T, one of these hard rocking bands that Eddie Trunk loved, they went glam like most bands did in that era.
Yeah.
And they put Contagious out, which had the amazing rhyme scheme of rhyming contagious with dangerous.
Yep.
It's condangerous. It's contagious. It's condangerous. So, anyways, that's not what we're doing. What we are doing is a second foray from one of our favorite bands here on Pot of Thunder.
Oh.
And when I say favorite, I mean favorite to bag on.
Yeah.
Basically.
Second foray. Who could it be?
Yeah.
Who could it be?
Thinking about it, huh?
Well, I'm trying to pinpoint it based on. I'm guessing like what time period this might have come out. I'm guessing. Well, I have a decade in mind, and
you know me. I always like the certain decade.
Yeah,
and if it's video related, you can pretty much narrow it down. So,
I'll say someone in the chat has guessed it, but I won't say.
Wow.
Who. Out of the 4 or 5 that I see in here.
Can I just say welcome to all the fine Patreon members tonight? It's great to have the live element here on Pot of Thunder. So always appreciate that.
Yeah. All right.
Tell your friends.
Yes, please.
All right. So should I say it, or are we ready?
Yeah. I'll press the song intro. And do you know the album and everything?
I know everything.
Okay. Well then, without any further ado,
do the trade off with yourself here.
Well, let's give the microphone over to the other Chris J, Mrs. Jones.
I'm gonna do a little intro here. And when I do this, you hit the intro. Okay, you ready,
right.
Andy?
Yep.
Second foray from one of our favorites to bag on. So get out your Metal Pounders Union cards.
Jesus.
As we go into.
All right, Hammond. This one's called
Mad Dog. Strength of Steel.
Hold it. Start it again. Start it again.
There's a bit
Who
of a
is
lag.
that? Oh, that's your mom.
yeah.
That's our mom. Yeah.
I thought it was me, so I
It's
got thrown off.
always you, but when you're here, it's our mom.
Okay.
It's got that hotter than hell production quality to it. So you got to sharpen your ears a little bit.
Great call. Great call.
One more time. Here we go.
All right, gentlemen. This one's called
Mad Dog.
Off of
Strength of Steel.
by the band.
Anvil.
So, Mad
boy.
Dog off of Strength of Steel. And what year is this one?
1987.
1987. So,
Okay.
well, this is within the range of the...
Were they still supposed to be the biggest thing coming at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it was in the time range of metal on metal, but already a lot of the bands that they influenced had surpassed
Yeah.
them.
So you're talking Metal on Metal is 82. This is 5 years later, and they've kind of been just, if I can paraphrase Spinal Tap, swimming in a sea of retarded sexuality at this point. And so this is actually a pretty big deal. This album, Strength of Steel, was on Enigma Records, which if you guys know, Enigma was actually fairly big at this time. Stryper was on Enigma. Poison was on Enigma. So Enigma had some steam. So this was like Anvil's major label debut. And it's got some good songs. This is probably Anvil's, my second favorite Anvil record next to Metal on Metal. But this song is one of the reasons why the album tanked, because they led with the proverbial song that just doesn't, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
There was
But
other
this was-
songs that were better, shall we say.
This is the lead single, though.
This is the lead single. This
Okay.
is the one.
So, yeah.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. Okay.
Can we just dispel this bullshit notion that they influenced anybody? That's all a fucking fabrication for that documentary. They didn't influence anybody. How much did they pay Lars to say that on camera?
Well, I think the point is in 1982, they were playing some pretty heavy stuff prior to Metallica, but they're not Motorhead level by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, Metallica isn't going around saying our influences are Motorhead, Thin Lizzy, and Anvil.
Yeah.
You know, UFO, Michael Shankar, and Anvil. No, it's never that.
Right.
It was a band that was on the radar that they probably, listened to a couple tunes and went, all right, that's all right,
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Nick? Have you heard this one?
No.
No.
But they have a video for it, huh?
They do.
There's a video?
There's a video. for
Now
it.
is this a
We're gonna pull that
is this
up
a Sweet
shortly.
Emotion sort of situation where they went back 20 years?
Nope.
No. Okay.
This came out when the album came out. 'Cause
Okay.
I remember on Much Music Power Hour,
Okay.
which was Canada's version of Headbangers Ball, this played, and I remember watching it going, "What are they doing?" Oh, Michael Luba, Anvil, inflates people seeing radio station. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you see, yeah.
Oh, I just wonder if it actually was on Headbangers Ball. I would imagine it got a little play.
I mean, it was on Enigma Records, so
Yeah.
you might think that it had something to it, right? So, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna look.
But if you never heard it, never saw it, probably not much. I don't think it was something that was getting played all the time, and you just
Wasn't on Dial MTV.
it wasn't number one. It wasn't going neck and neck with New
Downtown
Kids on
Julie
the Block.
Brown wasn't introducing this one.
It didn't beat like Lay Your Hands on Me for the number one spot
Yeah.
or something like that.
It wasn't getting any wubba wubbas on MTV during that era.
And I will say this though: two of the songs on this album. Hold on one second. Just let me get my information right here. Yes, two of the songs on this album, "Strength of Steel," appeared in the film Sleepaway Camp 2: Unhappy Campers, one of my all-time favorite movies. And it's
really?
the song "Straight Between the Eyes" and another song called "Wild Eyes." Neither one of these ones are Mad Dog, but they were in Sleepaway Camp 2: Unhappy Campers.
Sleepaway Camp 2.
Who's
Is it a horror movie?
Yeah, it's a horror movie. It's like one of the greatest 80s slasher tit movies ever.
Oh,
one of
I
those.
never heard of it.
Yeah, my goal is to get it played on the last drive-in. I'm trying to get Darcy the Mail Girl to get it for us to watch so the whole world can hear Anvil live on screen.
That's the real reason.
That's
The
real
Trojan horse to get Anvil to the masses. Again. Okay. Well, we've got the video here. I've got it queued up. We're ready to go. Is there anything else either of you guys on the couch over here want to say before we get rolling? Or are you ready?
No, I'm just looking up the parent's guide to this Sleepaway Camp 2, just to see what we're in for here.
Is there like a rating system, or is there notes or something?
Yeah,
How does that work?
There's some notes. Sex and nudity, moderate. Gore and violence, severe. Profanity, moderate.
Okay.
And of course, who can't forget Sleepaway Camp 3, The Crackdown. I think it was a rule that the third movie in a series had to be called The Crackdown.
The Crackdown, yeah.
Well, there was a 4, apparently.
Oh, there really was?
Yeah, it went up to 4 from what I can see.
Oh, okay.
It was not citizens on patrol, but that's okay.
Okay. Was there in Sleepaway Camp? Was there like a Jason or a Freddy? Was there a single character that kept coming back?
It looks like both.
It was actually in Sleepaway Camp 2. The killer was Angela Baker, who in Sleepaway Camp 1 was really a guy that was masquerading as a girl. But in Sleepaway Camp 2, the character is played by one Pamela Springsteen, who is the sister of the boss.
Oh, really?
Sister of the boss. Okay.
Yes.
No
and
idea.
it also stars Renee Estevez, who is the sister of Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Oh,
really?
There's someone named Valerie Hartman. Is that Phil's sister?
Probably could be. Valerie Hartman was in there. Actually, it's Phil Hartman's wife.
I hope not.
Who, in a strange twist of fate, really became a killer and murdered Phil Hartman. So,
wow, I learned something every day. Okay.
Just didn't count on it being this.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I've got my card out.
You get your metal pounders.
No, I don't have mine on me.
You still keep it on you?
Just like to let people know for the next 20 minutes, everything's half off if you use your card.
well, you guys actually do have your Metal Pounder Union card on you.
I haven't thrown it away yet after we found out we were duped with fake cards, but
it's cooler than a real one.
I guess so.
That is true.
You know what? I have a sinking feeling that I left mine on Air Force One the last time it was here. I used it to get on board. I was hanging out with Sleepy Joe and his entourage, and I think I left it behind. So
that's how you got on, though? Just flashed it?
Yeah,
and
you
said,
just
"Come on."
flash it and just keep walking.
Well,
They said, where do you want? We'll drop you off. Where are you going?
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say that this album came out in May of 1987, which was right when I was graduating grade 11. So I have a good affinity for this album because it makes you remember good times. So for the summer, we were listening to a lot of Anvil that summer, specifically the Strength of Steel album, and the 2 songs that were featured in Sleepaway Camp 2.
So you were listening to this when it came out. Okay. Good to know.
I bought this in the record store.
Okay.
So between all the Anvil and Striper you were listening to, you weren't really interested in hanging out with chicks at all, were you?
No, there was not a lot of chicks that were knocking on my door, shall we say. I will say one last thing as well, that Kerrang gave this album 1 star out of 5.
So
I haven't heard it, but I agree.
Well, I guess we'll find out based on the lead single if that's what steered their opinion down into the gutter.
Well, you know, not that I'm by no means am I saying this is a good album. I wouldn't know. I have never heard it, but I would be surprised if it's good. But even if it's a good album, you can lead with the wrong single. Nobody's going to hear it.
That's it.
I still think it's one of the reasons why A Different Kind of Truth by Van Halen wasn't bigger is because they led off with Tattoo, which is probably in the lower third of the record. There's some great Van Halen songs in there that no one ever heard because they heard Tattoo and went, we're not listening.
And of course, the other notable example here in the States, which would have been right around the same time frame, was Hysteria leading with Women here in the United States.
Yeah.
That song didn't get any traction at all. I mean,
it didn't, but I mean that album ended up doing okay.
Oh, it did, but you know, I'm saying
that
that
it was not the right single to lead off with, especially after Pyromania,
right?
And especially when you know those other tunes that they have, like Pour Some Sugar on Me and Armageddon It and those type of tunes. You're right about that.
That's what I'm saying is it was an exception of the rule. It didn't tank the album. Of course, there was no way they were going to let it tank. They had so much money invested in it, but But yeah, here in the States, they just came out of the gate with a pretty, I mean, it's a cool song, but it didn't get any traction. I
Great.
remember that.
Great
It was everywhere. It was
t-shirt.
in Canada too. I remember when women came out. I was like, the new Def Leppard. You're like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I remember that.
Great
being-
T-shirt. That's about it.
What was
Yeah,
the
the
t-shirt?
comic book. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
like
they
the
followed up
comic
with
book one.
Animal, which is still not great. I mean, it's okay,
It
but
was
it's
a-
like
it
it's
was-
not Armageddon it, Rocket,
and the
Pour Some
power
Sugar on Me.
ballads.
Yeah, and the
Love Bites, right?
the
Yeah.
circus clips in the video were, I don't know if your hard rock heavy metal crowd is going to really care about circus performers being interspersed in performance footage.
Yeah, that always happens. Every few years, someone goes down that road, don't they?
Although I think Big Top Pee Wee was big at the time.
That might have been, like a package deal. Def Leppard and Big Top Pee Wee together.
In the round at the time.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Let's do it.
you
Let's
guys
get
ready?
into it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a quick
Here
break.
we go.
We'll be right back after this short word from one of our very favorite sponsors.
Puppies for sale.
Nick's
What did it
already
say?
interested.
Did it say fuzzy? What did it say on the?
Puppies for sale.
Okay, but I don't know if it was the name of the shop. It said Fuzzy or Fuzzy.
Oh yeah, I think it said Fuzzy. Yeah, what was it called? Fuzzies.
Fuzzy
Fuzzies.
Pals.
Fuzzy
Okay.
Pals.
Well, that could be a quick Photoshop could put Fuzzy Pals on there if you need it.
Good, yeah.
But I mean,
Looks like
A fan club name, perhaps.
yeah.
So
Looks
out
like
of the
sign that's
gate-
on our dressing room door.
out of the gate here visually, not a bad move to have a big-haired girl in a schoolgirl's outfit.
I think that might actually be Rob Reiner with 2B's wife, because if you've seen the Anvil documentary, I think it's the same girl, like just 20 years earlier. So
really?
It could,
All right.
it could
Okay.
be.
Good for him.
Now, I just want to say as well, spoiler alert, the guy playing the proprietor of Fuzzy Pals is, of course, the illustrious Lips, which you'll figure it out very quickly.
Okay, and I just want to say that that revelation about this chick being Rob Reiner's wife, I'll just say about that pairing what I say about all of my friends' pairings, that we have all married up, essentially. A term from American football. We've Mr. Reiner definitely outkicked his coverage with this chick.
Let's keep going.
All right, here we go.
So, you want to buy a dog?
Oh, yes, I want a puppy, but they're all too expensive.
Too expensive? I have just a dog for you. $15. Come with me. You don't want a dog like that.
I wouldn't?
What is the accent that Lips is using here?
I don't know what he's
I don't know
doing.
what's going
I
on
don't
here.
know. I think it's like something out of SCTV, really.
Yeah, I mean, is
like
it
the
supposed to be like overly Jewish, or is it kind of some kind of an Arabic thing, like the weird flying guy in Phantom Menace, or what is it?
I was gonna say it is kind of like a Jackie Mason voice that he's
Yeah,
doing.
maybe.
So yeah,
So,
cat skills comedian. I don't know.
Lips is very Jewish, so maybe it's kind of like you said, like an over the top kind of a Jewish accent here.
That might be it.
So did this script come out of the same think tank that produced that fucking Kick-Axe video you made us watch a couple of years ago? I mean, it's the same kind of idiotic intro. It's
Yeah,
just like
you're right. You're
poorly
right. Yeah.
acted.
But back in those days, everybody had to have an intro for their videos. That was they had
Yeah.
to have a comedic intro.
Yeah. I'm clicking around here because just out of curiosity, I wanted to see what they were charging for dogs back in 1987.
It's not $430.
$430. Yeah, that's nothing to.
That's a pure
to
breed.
laugh at. Yeah, $430 for a Shih Tzu. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be a lot less.
I'm surprised they didn't spell it differently just to try to sneak that in there.
Yeah. Just you get past the censors.
Yeah,
But this guy here went from $4.99 to $3.99 to $2.99. Now he's $15.
$15.
This dog
All
right here.
well, this is not a good dog.
No, they're trying to move him out.
push the $15 dog.
Yeah.
Please.
That was the sales incentive meeting before they opened for the day. Move the $15 dog.
If it's still here by the end
Yeah.
of the day, someone's head's rolling.
All right, let's keep going.
You don't want a dog like that.
I wouldn't?
No, they make big mess in your house. You want a dog like this.
Gee, he doesn't look like a puppy to me.
I'm detecting some Eastern Bloc country accents,
Good-
some like
good Gaul as well.
Yugoslavia,
A little Hungarian there or something like that.
Slovenia, that whole region.
It's like
They basically-
the Happy Wanderers on SCTV.
That's the fucking best call right there.
That's it, huh?
Stan Schmangy and Yash Schmangy right there. Totally
Lips
Ukrainian.
schminky.
And he just sent me the Photoshop version of Fozzie Pals.
Yeah, our friend Gavin just sent it to me.
Oh,
Passed
all right.
it over to you guys.
Oh, thank you, the Patreon viewers, for following along.
Yeah, that was
This is great.
quick.
Oh, he's puppy. He grew much bigger. Bigger than you can think.
I don't know. He's just not for me.
Hang on a second. Not for me. And then she has him.
She has it.
So,
Oh boy.
okay.
It's interesting, just the whole plot line that's going on here. I don't know what's happening with this dog.
Well, play it for a couple seconds, and
All
you'll
right.
see why the dog was only $15.
Okay. Oh,
Some David Lee Roth type leg spreading there from Lips.
Lips jumping off the picnic table with the Van Halen-esque leg scissoring. So basically, for those of you that aren't watching, is that she was sworn hoggled into buying the $15 dog, and then found out that Lips is some kind of a dog man.
Yeah.
It's like lycanthropy, except for it's not a wolf. The dog is basically Lips in human form.
Yeah, it's the opposite of one of the worst television pilots that I've ever watched, which would be Puchinsky, where Peter Boyle dies and his soul goes into a bulldog, and now the bulldog can talk, and it's still a cop somehow.
Was that a real
Is that
thing?
real?
It's on YouTube. Yes, look up Puchinsky.
Was
I
it
thought you were
spelled
gonna go with-
Poochinsky?
Yes.
How
I
clever.
thought you were going to go with Simon McCorkindale in Manimal.
I've heard of that, but I've never seen Man.
I have heard of that. I think I might have watched an episode back in the day. But I remember
I
that.
love how Puchinsky just had to be played by Peter Boyle.
Yes.
Who else can play that part?
Yes.
And it's a full pilot, like 20,
full pilot,
22 minutes.
Full pilot. This might be a double. This might be like 40 something minutes. I don't remember.
Oh,
but-
wow. It's an hour drama.
I think it's based in Chicago. You have to see this.
Yeah. We might have to do a
I got
watch-along
actually
sometime.
our buddy Rich, famous for kicking out the cable at the one
Yes.
episode.
Oh, yeah.
I bought him Puchinsky socks. You know, you could get those socks on Etsy. That's a picture of your head and your pet's head.
Yes.
I got Peter Boyle and
And the dog.
Puchinsky.
That's great.
One thing I want to say just visually is when the transformation occurred, when the dog became Lips, visually it reminded me of, and I would be confident that Jericho knows these references. You guys might not, but it reminded me of Johnny Sacco or Ultraman. Remember those Japanese
Ultraman.
sci-fi TV shows?
Yeah, good call.
Spectre Man was one of them, I believe. No?
That I don't remember.
Okay.
You're
Ultraman
just
was like
making
a-
shit up at this point.
Ultraman was like a superhero who would fight like giant Godzilla, Mothra type monsters.
Yeah, and he had like a bullet type helmet.
Yeah, helmet. Yeah, and just a little trivia. My first trip to Japan for FMW in 1991, one of the big stars was a luchador with the name of Ultraman, and he would come to the ring with the Ultraman costume and basically stink out the joint. But people liked him because he was Ultraman.
You used to be able to get away with that, right? Back then, you just take a character off TV and roll
Yeah,
with
no
it.
one's paying attention. There's no phones to film. You can come out there when whatever you wanted to. No one's gonna know.
Yeah. Good old days.
I'll also say that sonically, I must admit, I kind of like it so far. The music, it's got some punch to it.
It does.
Actually,
It's
got
kind
some-
of a little bit of a kind of a blues thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it so far. The music, the actual music.
Well, it's been 12 seconds, so let's see.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Once again, you can rewind it a little bit so we can see Lips' big jump of glory here.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I enjoyed some of those the bass interjections there. Just kind of standard, like, hard rock, blues bass stuff, like was mentioned, but not bad.
I mean, yeah, definitely not too bad. And like I said, I didn't want to try and taint your guys' opinions. I mean, you guys might love the song. I just feel that, whatever. It's funny too because they're doing another thing that they would do at this point in time with bands is make them like comedy acts. So these guys are now playing kind of Keystone Cop, sped up, running fast and bumping into each other's Three Stooges type of vibe, which they did quite a bit back in those days. For bands like this, which Anvil should never have been doing fucking comedy. Like Metallica would never do comedy. Right. Megadeth would never do comedy. And Anvil came from that realm. But here they are. Keystone Cops, not a good move.
And they're in a setting now, which really reminds me of the "Rock You Like a Hurricane" video with the fence, the chain link fence around them.
Wake Up Dead, it's the heavy metal trope around this time frame.
And let's not take all or give all the credit for tanking Anvil to the director, because let's not forget that Lips played his guitar with a dildo voluntarily. So it's not that someone convinced them to do comedy. They should have been told maybe don't do comedy. But
they would have ignored that advice. So what's the point?
They would have given the guy a free Metal Pounders Union card and sent him on his way.
Yeah, when crossing your eyes and playing with a dildo is your image that you're putting out there, then I don't think this is too far removed.
I don't care if I lose my hair. I mean, come on, man. Really?
Yeah, right.
This is the lead-off single. The lead-off lyric is "I don't care if I lose my hair."
And that has what to do with dogs? Should it have anything to do with dogs? Am I just being too literal about it at this point?
I'm gonna give you guys the first verse here.
Okay.
I don't care if I lose my hair. I don't care if you strip me bare. I don't care if you think I'm sick. I'm just a mad dog doing my trick.
Okay,
doing my trick.
Some really terrible lyrics.
And if you can see too, Lips is wanted, and there's two pictures of Lips and two pictures of the dog.
A totally different dog, by the way.
And it says "Wanted Lips." AKA Beast.
Yeah.
The dog's name is Beast.
That's a Cocker Spaniel in the picture.
Yeah, they had the top level sketch artist for the police was not available. They had to bring in some understudy from.
It's also like the worst washed out black and white wanted poster ever. Like they couldn't have found a colored store. Like there's no Kinko's around Etobicoke, Ontario, or wherever the hell they filmed this.
Yeah, the machine they used was clearly low on toner. So.
All right, let's keep going.
When we toured, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying, when we toured with Saxon back in like 2013, we played in Toronto, and Anvil showed up, and Anvil was angry that Saxon had Fozzy on the bill and not Anvil.
Really?
And afterwards, Biff Bifford pointed out a really awesome call. He goes, "You ever notice that every Anvil melody line follows the guitar exactly?"
Yeah.
Metal on metal.
Yeah.
I'm just a mad dog, done a mad dog. I'm a mad. I don't care if you lose my hair. Like it's just bam, 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 bam. Every Anvil song, the melody follows the guitar.
And the chorus kind of reminds me of Hard Times.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hard time. Good call.
I mean, when the melodies are that incredible. Why wouldn't you double them on the
That's true.
guitar?
How come Kiss
I mean,
didn't lead off with Hard Times as the first single? Could have made the album even bigger.
All right. Yeah, let's keep going, guys.
Chasing cars or burying a boat. I'm a stray looking for a home. On the border, you're hanging around. The ragged beaten hound, 'cause I'm a man.
Honestly, I don't particularly dislike this song so far. I don't think I'm not loving it, but I'm not disliking it. It has an uphill battle because I went into it thinking, it's Anvil. I never got into them.
The lyric is chasing cars or burying my bone. I'm a stray looking for a home.
Yep.
On the corner, just hanging around. I'm a depraved, deranged, flea-bitten hound.
Those could be AC/DC lyrics.
That's
possibly.
true. That's not that far
Bon
off.
Scott lyrics. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that last part when we actually listened to it, so I'm glad you filled us in.
I mean, and
Flea-bitten hound.
he's still chasing the innocent ingenue in the video, and it's I don't know. He's got like a thong thing going on, which I don't know that ever needed to happen.
Was it like the thong over the pants
Yeah, over
thing?
the tights, kind of just like the straight up thong going on there.
Doesn't work for you?
no, that's not good.
No.
Also,
Nobody
too,
wants
Rob
that.
Reiner with 2 Bs with the obligatory arm straight up for the snare hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta go all the Robert Sweet style all the way up and down just because you're doing the video.
Yep. I'm sorry.
That was the bridge to Cat Scratch Fever.
Dude, that's a great call. This has a total Cat Scratch Fever vibe to it.
That bridge was so very close
Great call.
to the bridge from Cat Scratch Fever.
Which, by the way, was another highlight of my 33 episodes, was the Nitro version of Cat
Yes.
Scratch Fever.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
What were those
Yeah.
lyrics on that bridge? Do you still have them in front of you?
I do. The bridge was, what does this mean? Ain't hydrophobic.
Yeah, I thought I didn't understand.
Not afraid of water.
Not afraid of
Not
water.
afraid
Yeah.
of fire hydrants.
No need to run. I'm just a mad dog having fun. Let's just see. Hydrophobic. Hydrophobic. Is that even a word? Let's just see. Tending to repel or fail to mix with water. So he's not afraid of water.
He's not oil, basically.
Are dogs hydrophobic or are they not?
I thought cats were.
I thought cats were more averse to water.
Yeah,
than dogs.
okay.
You get a hose going, that dog wants to eat all the water that's coming out of there.
This is a great amalgamation of Hard Times and Cat Scratch Fever. That's a great call.
It's a mashup.
These are some violent sounding drums in this song, though.
Yeah, I mean, I production wise, I'm enjoying it. It's got some power to it. The drums sound, compared to a lot of other stuff from more prominent bands in the 80s, this is a superior drum sound to a lot of stuff. That was
produced by Paul LaChapelle and Gabor Vershegski.
Wait a minute. Was this his warm up before he went overseas to do Bang by Gorky Park?
Well, and you guys know, anytime a Gabor Gaveshki is involved, I mean, fucking Master of Puppets, Back in Black, Destroyer,
everything.
Strength of Steel. I mean, he's all over these things.
Yep.
Thriller.
Yeah. Don't forget Thriller.
He wrote most of Thriller, I think, too.
Yeah.
For those of you guys not watching the video, Lips has this really kind of annoying tendency to make dumb faces whenever he's playing, and it's not it doesn't add to the overall vibe of Anvil, in my opinion.
No. I think it was supposed to be that, like, I'm crazy thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a wild man, but I don't know. There's something about it that just maybe
Well,
doesn't
he's a
work.
mad dog, right?
Yeah,
So,
but he does it all the time. And to this day, I'm sure he does it the whole time on stage.
yeah,
It's not just for the Mad Dog video.
just for at all times. It's just his thing.
Yeah, he does it when he's at Applebee's. Asks for a
He's at
refill on his
Tim
sweet
Hortons.
tea.
Tim Hortons getting a double-double. Roll up the rim to win, lips.
The only one who outdoes him for making stupid faces is Dana Strum. I think he actually outdoes Lips. In that
Here's the
department.
difference. Lips is doing it because he's trying to be funny, crazy. Dana's doing it because he thinks it's sexy.
Well, they're both wrong. Dana definitely wrong. It's people. I was asked recently, why do you hate Dana Strum so much? And that's the reason. He lurches around with the stupidest looks on his faces of all time. He's an idiot, and that's it. So there you have it.
Have you guys ever done a slaughter excursion here on?
We have not.
Or White Lion, or who else?
Well, I don't think he was in White Lion.
I thought he was in White Lion.
He's in Vince Neil's solo band.
Okay.
And of course, Vinnie Vincent for the two Vinnie Vincent videos.
There you go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
What are we thinking about this Keystone Cop black and white running around in like some kids' elementary school park here?
At least they have anvils in their backpacks, I guess.
That helps.
yeah,
I don't know
the
why.
obligatory anvil placement in the video. You gotta have it.
I don't know. It's not any goofier than a lot of bands went in the 80s, though.
Right.
Not all of them. Like, I don't know that Motley Crue ever went this goofy. Def Leppard did, but not.
When did Leopard go goofy?
Yeah,
They went goofy on the Me and My Wine
Okay.
Young Ones inspired
That's
video.
right.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
But most bands, I'd say, went pretty goofy. Well, I guess Smoking in the Boys' Room was pretty goofy with that principal.
Yeah, Michael Berryman.
Yeah. So maybe everybody did this. Everybody except Iommi.
Yeah.
He was the only one who kept it serious in the 80s.
Being the romantic lead.
Yes,
Which,
the
by the way, we
romantic
did consider No Stranger to Love, but it's not. I couldn't make it through about a minute of it. It's terrible.
Iommi is a Robert Redford of 80s metal videos.
And who could have ever predicted such a thing?
But it's not even. It's
Answer,
not
no
even the
one.
video. It's the song. The song is
song
terrible.
is terrible.
It is
For
awful.
Black
It's just-
Sabbath, it's just terrible.
It's-
Come on, man.
It's one of the most ill-advised, ill-conceived things ever, but it's turned
Black
out to be
Sabbath with just Tony
laughable.
Iommi, the 7-star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's suddenly becomes Ryan O'Neal in The Way We Were, and it's like, how did this happen? I can't connect those dots. It just is so jarring. So.
All right. Let's all guess what the next dog pun is going to be. Let's
All right,
see.
so I'll give you the first three lines.
Okay.
Let's have the listeners give us the last line, okay?
All right.
Looking for a bitchin' heat, begging for a doggy treat. You know my bark is worse than my bite.
I lick my own balls all night. That's what it should have been. See, if I was producing it, I'd be like, whatever your lyric is, we're going with my lyric.
If you were Gabor Vershevsky,
Exactly.
you would have been a lot different on this fucking
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a reference to either licking your own balls or eating your own shit. Would be the obvious way to go.
It's neither of those.
Missed
it's,
opportunity.
Something about heartworm.
Two movie titles are named in this one line.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Let's see what it is. I heard In the
You guys
Heat of
catch
the
it?
Night. What was the first part?
You'll hear me howling
Oh.
in the heat of the night.
Okay.
Well,
And let's actually try to do a howl with his voice there. You see what he did there?
Yeah.
with that lead in, I could have sworn one of the movies was going to be Turner and Hooch. So
Turner and Hooch and Beethoven all night.
right, exactly. Again, missed opportunities.
Yeah, there's
but-
so much material. Not a Cujo reference in sight.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And once again, so apparently the plot line, and we use that word very lightly, is that the Keystone Cops are trying to catch Lips by dropping an anvil on his head, but instead they only succeed on dropping anvils on their own heads.
Yep.
Which then Lips comes in with a bucket of water and revives them by pouring the water on their faces.
You know,
Kind of where we're
That
at.
works.
Does it though?
it should have been a bucket of confetti.
Rip Taylor
We could have had
joke.
a Rip Taylor representation.
Yep.
Well, it also would have helped if the said anvils didn't look more like pinatas.
Yeah, there was a
at that
pinata
point.
thing happening.
So yeah, they were they're very light floating anvils for sure.
I mean, the moon heads we wore for our anniversary episode or whenever that was looked more realistic than those. So not intimidating. I'm not worried about that anvil hitting me in the head.
So they brought out an Acme like bazooka here, elephant gun,
Yep.
and then but don't discount the fact that he turned too fast with the bazooka and knocked down his fellow bandmates, including Rob Reiner with 2 Bs in the foreground right here.
Yeah, now they're gonna probably shoot it backwards and blow up their own vehicle.
Oh, that's right. That's what they should do. If they don't, they missed an opportunity. Who are the other guys in the band at this point? Do you know?
So I do know because I'm an idiot. Dave Allison is the other guitar player right in the middle, and in the background is Ian Dixon on the bass.
Okay.
And Dave Allison is one of the most useless positions in any heavy metal band.
Why is
The
that?
rhythm guitar player who's in a band where the lead guitar player also sings.
Yeah.
Like no
Was that-
glory for you when you're that guy.
Was
right?
that the same situation as Y&T?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Joey
Like,
Alvis, I
Joey
believe
Alves.
is his name. Yeah.
Rhythm guitar, like what the fuck? What does that even mean? You're not doing anything.
Yeah. It's interesting. So they've done away with the fourth member for many
Yes.
years, right?
Both those guys are gone, and that's why they're a 3-piece now. Because essentially, I mean, maybe to beef up your sound, have that extra guitar player. But when you're, doing door deals on tour like Anvil does now, it probably does okay. 3 guys is a lot easier to split it, or not split it. It's probably Lips and Rob splitting it, and the other guy gets $50 in a per diem or whatever. But still, whatever.
Yeah.
Another one of those superfluous guys was that fucking dickhead in Wasp who used to make just those weird faces and
Randy
contortions into the camera. It's like, what are you doing? You're not even playing anything. Why are you in the band at this point? I mean, I'm thinking of the Wild Child video where he like puts his arms over his head like he's gonna recline and go to sleep, and just starts like gyrating his hips like who is Conan's sidekick? Andy Richter. Like when Andy Richter did the dance in Cabin Boy, remember that scene?
Just the harem girl dance.
Exactly. That's what he's doing into the mic. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
We should make a collection, and your Patreon subscribers can add to it. The rhythm guitar player in a band where the lead guitar player is also the singer. Give us some more examples.
I see
of
one.
that.
David McCowan said same situation in Airborne.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to sit well with Nick.
Well, it works out in that case.
Okay.
I mean,
I bet you there's quite a few.
I'm sure, yeah. All right, let's continue here. We've got a little bit to go. Just wrapping it up, I'm sure. But let's...
They're about
Are they going to catch Lips? I want to know.
Yeah, they're about to fire the rocket launcher, so just hang on
Which
to your
apparently
hats,
has like
everybody.
the elephant gun dart that can tranquilize the beast that is Lips on the run here, chasing Rob Reiner's wife, which is probably what happened in real life.
Yeah.
So he got run through with a tube of caulk, it looks like.
A tube of caulking?
Yeah. That's what it looked like, what flew out at him.
I'm sure it's just some hardware store.
Morons, they couldn't pull the trigger, so it fell on the ground and just discharged and hit Lips, which turns him back into the dog.
So it worked.
It did work, but not by any skill of their own guys.
No, certainly not.
What would we rather have between the two? If we had to keep him in one form or the other.
Lips or a dog?
What's preferred?
I mean, you got to go with Lips, right?
Yeah, you got to go with Lips, right? Unless it's in your home, then that's a different situation.
Although the dog's only $15.
Mm-hmm.
Magic dog for $15.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. What's Lips going to charge for a personal appearance? $1,000? Who's going to pay that?
Yeah. So are you saying which one would you rather have that you're responsible for? Because if that's the case, we're going
or
with
running
dog.
around in the park for that matter.
Well,
Whatever.
are you responsible though, or can you just leave him there?
I don't know.
Can you
I
just
think
drive
maybe
away,
Lips.
lock the door?
I think Lips should do that. Go to children's birthday parties for hire himself out. Like there's no clown. There's no kids with the clown. Kids, we've got Lips, and he just shows up, and the kids would go bananas. It'd be great. I mean, I think your kids would enjoy that, Andy.
I mean, does he turn into a dog?
No, he's
just
does crazy
Lips.
faces and shows them what a dildo does and just does fun stuff.
I'm probably not letting him in my house.
oh, he'd just be in the backyard. You don't have to let him in.
Yeah, we're gonna lock the door and call the authorities.
But in dog form, you might.
In dog form, he's welcome in the home.
Okay, if it's only $15 in dog form.
Yeah.
The real Lips is about $500. Dog Lips is $15.
Just make sure that your all caulk guns are, locked up in a safe, so you don't run the risk of him turning into Lips again in front of your family. Nobody wants that.
Just starts stuffing it up his own ass, and barking.
Yeah,
it's not what we need.
Nope. That's not what anybody needs.
Mm-mm.
I like how they did that kind of like it was just the single beat, and at the end it went dun 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 with a kind of fun. But now suddenly they've ditched Rob Reiner's wife, and now they're harassing some young mother who's got a baby in the carriage here.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on.
That's
here.
not the same girl.
It's not. She unless she cleaned her act up, but she's got shorter hair. And all
Look
this
at that
other stuff.
earring, Jesus!
Yeah, I think so.
Gee, that's the type of money Anvil was pulling when they signed with Enigma Records. It was their big record deal.
I guess when you've influenced Metallica, you can have that quality of earring on the set.
When you've influenced Metallica, Anthrax, and Slash, this is the type of spoils that you get. Not just the blonde chicks and schoolgirl outfits, but the giant chandelier diamonds hanging from their lobes.
You know, without my glasses, this could be Lady Di right here in the video.
Well, that's one of the reasons why people think she was assassinated in that tunnel is that she was secretly dating Lips. Lips was this close, guys, to being the king of England.
Oh boy.
He'd be handing out Anvil Metal Pounder Union cards to the entire congregation, the entire population of England.
The Metal Pounder Union Jack, if you will.
Oh, man.
If you will.
Yeah. Jeez, look at that thing. That is a huge earring,
It's
huh?
a purse.
That's just some heft. It looks like a purse. I feel like there's probably a deleted scene from that documentary where they talk about their regrets of spending all their money on the earring budget.
It was
in
either
Mad
the
Dog video.
record producer or the earring for the video.
Yeah. And what you don't... go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, what you guys don't realize, it was only the one earring, and it was split between 4 guys. So each guy's wife got to wear the one earring for like 1 week at a time.
Every week they had to trade.
Every week they'd have to switch it. Yeah,
They'd meet
just
up.
the one. She always has to. She always has to look to her left. If you look to the right, there's no earring.
Or she parts her hair over one side.
Yeah,
that works.
It was the 80s. You could just Aquanet the one side.
But yeah, I think that earring was actually hawked to get the money together that was required to get Slash to say that he was influenced by Anvil on screen. So
they didn't even hawk it. They just handed him the giant earring.
Yeah, one way or the other. That's a large diamond was required for him to say.
I remember one of the times I was at Slash's house when his ex-wife Pearlie used to have parties, and Slash would just hang up upstairs, didn't want to be part of the party. I remember seeing a giant shiny diamond earring in the corner of the room, discarded with a couple empty Coke cans.
Discarded. Wow, not on display.
Well,
just trash.
It's rock and roll lifestyle.
I guess so.
Okay, I love Anvil. I love Lips. Take the diamond ring, throw it in the corner.
Yeah,
exactly.
Jeez. All right, wrapping up here. Let's find out what's going on with this new
This
mother.
baby carriage
Yeah.
here.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Are we sure that's not the same woman? Because I think that completes the storyline a bit better.
If it is the same woman.
Yeah, I don't know if they could have afforded a second woman.
Yeah, I think this is
on
the same
script
woman, and she's a
set
mother
there.
now, and the dog is her, obviously, because
Is it baby?
Lips got to her.
So it's like Omen, where the son of Satan is born of a jackal, except for this is born of a mad dog.
I think so.
There
Yeah.
you go. Now you're on to something.
That's what I'm honestly thinking is happening here.
Yeah. So that wasn't Lips, though, right? Or was he in that last shot?
I think that was Son of Lips.
But okay, that makes sense. But just making sure that they,
Yeah.
So basically what happened was that Lips pursued Rob Reiner's wife, bedded her, and impregnated her with a dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no other possible way that this could have gone.
The 80s was a weird scene, man.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. They're throwing everything against the wall, and bands were just willingly going along with it. So,
Well, she had the same outfit on, right?
I don't think it was the same lady.
I think it was. She had the same schoolgirl outfit on.
With shorter hair.
Well,
Would you cut your hair for an Anvil video or what?
I would.
Well, you don't have a lot to cut, though.
I'd still do it.
You didn't, yeah. I'm trying to go back here.
If they're listening, it's on the table.
Mad dog.
Same
There's a little
girl.
ending there.
Same girl, but she's a mother now.
Here.
Okay.
So this is her at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking at her here.
I mean, if they had a different girl, she'd be brunette or something, right?
But okay, look at the facial structure here. And for those of you at home, bear
Okay.
with us.
Yep.
Different girl.
No, I don't know. No.
Different girl.
Might be the same girl.
Just take a mental snapshot of that and take a mental snapshot of that.
I'm gonna say they couldn't afford 2 women for it to appear in the video.
It could be one of the guy's wives. I don't think they paid anybody in this.
Not only couldn't they afford 2 women, they couldn't convince 2 women to appear in this video.
I think that's a little bit more apropos there.
Yeah.
Does that say just married on the carriage here, the baby carriage? I'm trying to read it.
It does, doesn't it say
It
it?
says
She is wearing a
just
wedding
something.
dress too. What the hell's going on here?
One of those deals where the baby came first. Pretty
They're all wearing
scandalous stuff.
top hats, but yeah, you notice it's only the 3. So Lips is actually that could be it. They're just married, but she's pushing Lips.
That's what
in
I think
the
it
baby
is.
Carriage.
That's-
It's easier to push them.
That's what I think it is. I don't think she had a baby.
Yeah, say like if you married Billy,
this is-
if you married Billy Barty, you would push him
You don't-
around in
don't-
the baby carriage.
Don't waste your money on a limousine if you marry Billy Barty.
You can barely see over the
Call the radio
baby
flyer people.
carriage's lid.
What was that guy's name? Oh my God, that
Henry
journalist
Walter Winkler.
Remember?
the
Taking
meanest,
shots
the
at people.
meanest, most unnecessary.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Which,
Chris,
you
what
know,
did he say about Billy Barty? Do you remember the quote?
Barely visible above the defendant's desk in court
defendant's table.
or defendant's
Yeah.
table. You know what? It wasn't Winkler guy though. That was the other guy in the story.
Winkler was the guy who was suing him.
Yeah,
right?
so-
It was the news reporter. We don't know what his name
The
was.
news reporter was unnecessarily rude.
Yeah, just taking
Unnecessarily
shots
mean.
at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't know what we're talking about, I'm sure you could look it up. Billy Barty, just Winkler.
We'll post a link to it.
you'll
Go
see.
back
right
through the
now.
33 episodes I've been on,
Yeah.
and you should post that on Patreon. The 33 episodes of Jericho. I'd like to see.
You know, we do.
There's some that I don't even remember, like Cult of Personality. Zero memory of doing that one.
You can go to our website and go under categories, and there's one for Jericho episodes. Just click
Is
on
there?
the
Okay.
on the pull down menu, and it'll pull them all up.
Nice.
All right.
Is that up to date other than today?
Yeah,
Cool.
of
Okay.
course. I'm on top of it, man.
Very nice. Okay, well, it's time for us to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch. Who wants to vote first today?
Usually it's whoever brought it. So should Jericho go first?
Well, you know what? I'll go first. You know what? Once again, I'm putting my mindset back into 1987. And when this came out, I really enjoyed this record. And much like Chris L. A few weeks ago, with not really remembering the total Zeppelin influence of Kingdom Come, I'm not remembering the fun part of this song. I just remember being kind of a little generic. And I'm going to give it a Sweet Surrender.
Ooh.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Like I said, we can all agree that Anvil's not the greatest band of all time. There is a little bit of a fun appeal to them. And I think for this, is it a great first song to release as the first single? Did they have anything better? Maybe from an accessible standpoint, this might have been their best chance. And the fact they're still playing and they gave me an Anvil Pounder Metal Union card, I always give a thumbs up to Anvil. I'm always in their corner. I'll never buy another Anvil record, and I haven't since this one. But I'm still in their corner.
So you didn't buy the one where the anvil is a bong, a glass bong that an angel is smoking?
Yeah.
No, and I didn't buy the one where the anvil is a giant monument in the middle of a park. I didn't buy the one where the anvil is a piece of is an amplifier.
Yeah.
Not into that, but this album still fun.
Okay, fair enough. Who wants to vote next?
I'll go next. You know, I'm gonna let the wind blow it over the fence into Sweet Surrender territory.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Hell yes.
It was, yeah, I will agree with the chorus. It's just follow the chords, I guess. I mean, and that, you know, my favorite Kiss song ever is Parasite, and that's what that does.
Great call.
Smells like Teen Spirit does it.
I'm not gonna.
Most Black Sabbath songs
Yeah.
for early years.
So that's fine. I don't really mind it though. I don't mind the song. I think it had a nice groove to it. We didn't really talk about the solo, but it wasn't. I mean, it was not memorable, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
it was
recall
kinda
it.
bad.
I mean,
it wasn't that great.
Not melodic or that much or memorable,
No.
but it wasn't one of those where it's just like terrible, like you like to say, puking of notes everywhere.
Well, Paul Stanley said that first, so
Well, you
must
say it
give
better.
credit. where
If I
credit
could
is
just
due.
jump in on this too, I agree. Like the thing about Anvil, and I think to me, had there never been that Anvil documentary, which if anybody hasn't seen it, Anvil, the story of Anvil, it came out probably a little bit over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Once again, I'll tell the story of seeing it in LA at the Egyptian Theater, whatever, with Dustin Hoffman.
What?
Literally, Dustin. They had that much buzz at the time.
I don't think you told us this story before.
Okay, so when the documentary came out, it had a buzz.
Yeah.
And people got into it, where Hollywood kind of embraced it. They played the Tonight Show. I mean, Anvil was way bigger than they ever had been and ever should have been because of the documentary. And Dustin Hoffman was sitting in front of me, and when it was done, he gave it a standing ovation. And he was like, I'm not going to say he had a tear in his eye, but he was moved.
He was moved by it. Wow.
He was moved by it. So to me, like, Anvil does have a sound. You might not like it because it's not amazing, but Lips has a style of playing where it's not fucking Eddie Van Halen, of course not, but to me, it's unique. Now, is it uniquely great? No, but he does have a way of playing, and he does have a way of singing as well that nobody else has. And listen, in rock and roll, that's a rare thing, and either you're going to like it or you're not. But to me, at least, it's something that makes them stand out a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. I think accurate with that. I think you're inaccurate as to why Dustin Hoffman was there. I think he was expecting that he was showing up at the re-release of Kramer versus Kramer, and he was...
You got the nights mixed up.
Because, the word Anvil appears twice in the movie title. He thought it was a Kramer versus Kramer thing. And then he's just like, well, as long as I'm here, I'll take in this movie. And maybe he was legitimately moved.
Can I just throw in a quick thing before you vote? My parents took me to see Kramer versus Kramer in the movie theater. Now imagine this. An 8-year-old child at a movie where the plot is the fucking parents get divorced and fight over the child.
Yep.
I was convinced that my parents were getting divorced, and this was kind of like this
is how they were prepping you for
through of what I was going to experience.
Yeah, that could be traumatic.
Yeah. They should have dropped you off at Grandma's house before they went to the movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or taking me to drop me off at the Lone Ranger or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you sit next door. We'll come get you when we're done.
Well, go ahead.
Go see Clinton Spilsbury as Lone Ranger, and we'll go see the fucking Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
Well, as I've told these guys before, my earliest memory period in life is being in the theater with my parents watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. So it explains a lot about how I turned out.
Yeah, but nobody gets divorced in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Nobody gets divorced, but it's like extreme weirdness that I couldn't have been more than 4 years old.
I could see if your spaceship computer took you to go see 2001, and you think, oh wow, what's it trying to tell me?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to vote next.
All right.
We're going to skip Chris because we're going to let you take it home. You're going to be the anchor of this. I'm going to give it a Sweet Surrender.
Wow.
It's Sweet Surrender.
Hell yes.
Kind of something that Nick said. I was thinking the same thing. I had very low expectations and a negative mindset going into it, knowing it would be fun, but not thinking it was going to be that enjoyable of a song. I don't know, man. Like the drums sounded great.
Yeah, agree.
Some of the lyrics were corny, but that's not, some of the best songs ever have bad lyrics. That doesn't really matter. So,
yeah, but okay, go ahead.
It's not a 100% slam dunk, but I'm giving it, 52% Sweet Surrender. Right. Chris?
Well, I'm going to swing it in the opposite direction, but it's close. A 52% kick in the crotch for me.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
Sonically, it sounded great. The drums sounded great. I mean, compared to some of the other shit that was being put out in the 80s by much more significant and prominent bands. The production was great. I enjoyed the riff. The lyrics, absolutely terrible. And also, there should have been something about licking your own balls or eating your own shit.
That's the live version, the third verse, he says that in the live album.
So missing those opportunities swayed it for me, but I did not absolutely hate it. I can, I can open my mind to stuff, and that's one of them. I mean, it sounded great to me.
And from what I've seen and what I've heard of Anvil, Reiner's my favorite member, far and away.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Really good drummer. Fun to watch, too, from the footage I've seen. I don't know if he's still as animated. I mean, this is how many years ago, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's far and away the highlight for me every time.
He's a top-notch musician, and he always has been. And like you said, like even just the sound of the drums, but just the playing, like it was very basic metal playing, but it was still pretty fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like his fills are so tasty, and I've always been a fan of Rob Reiner. Even past Metal and Metal and talking about Anvil and the movie, and like I always thought, like, dude, he's like Dale Howardchuck on the Winnipeg Jets. Had he been playing on another team, he would have been an all-time. He's already an all-time great, but he won like 3 or 4 Stanley Cups. He was just playing on the Jets. If Rob Reiner was in a better band, a bigger band, people would really be talking about how great he is. He'd be one of the all-timers.
Yeah. I mean, he could have like done what Frankie Banali did, in Quiet Riot.
Sure,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's same talent level as Frankie Banali. Just that Quiet Riot had a giant record, and Anvil never did.
Well, if you disagree with us, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Mad Dog didn't make it.
Can I just say one thing? Had Chris given it a Sweet Surrender, I was going to shut it down for Rock and Roll Boner. There's no way it's a Rock and Roll Boner classic.
Nobody in their right mind.
How about you, Nick?
I'd rather. I don't.
Andy would have pushed it.
No,
through.
I wouldn't have.
No,
I wouldn't have today.
I mean, the lyrics are terrible.
It barely made it in past the first.
And again, he said that he let the wind. It was like toppling, and he went.
Yeah, it went over that flimsy cage that Lips was inside of during the video.
Yeah.
He shot his Acme dart at it and went.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lips, did we one last Anvil thing that you guys could stop me if we talked about this before?
Okay.
I was just reading, just kind of randomly landed on this on Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. In '81, the story goes, Fast Eddie Clark was leaving Motorhead, who was one of the people that Lemmy approached to fill his shoes.
That's another
before
lie.
going to Brian Robertson.
No, I'm sorry. That's a flat out lie.
It was Lips.
It's not a lie.
At least that's what it says here.
It's not a lie. Lemmy always loved Anvil, especially at that time frame, because they toured with Anvil in England, and he was really impressed with. Don't forget, Anvil in like 81, 82, at the height of their powers, was different from most bands. This is pre-Metallica. Mm-hmm. All you had was Motorhead, and you had Anvil doing. Listen to March of the Crabs.
Okay.
If you guys haven't heard that song, it's a fucking thrash song before there was thrash. So Lemmy was a big fan of Anvil at that time, mm-hmm. and there was an offer made. And Lips
what did Lips turn it down?
Yes,
or
he
what?
did.
Yeah, because it's
Lips bet on himself.
Yeah, it's the crazy story why John Bush turned down Metallica in '84. If you guys heard that one,
for Armored Saint, right? He was going to
because at the time Armored Saint was bigger than Metallica. He wanted to stay with his band. Now Anvil wasn't bigger than Motorhead, but Motorhead was not huge in '81. They weren't what they are now.
Yeah,
Motorhead was never big until they became the influence band, right?
Well, '80 they were pretty much everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah, but they weren't huge though. They were. Saxon was bigger.
Well, Motorhead was. They made a lot of. You see a lot of clips on TV shows that they were on. Like they were really making the rounds in '80.
Yeah, but and also at some point you listen to the Motorhead material and be like, this stuff is way better than anything I could create, so I should glom onto these guys. I mean, big or not, the quality of the material is undeniable compared to Anvil. So
I just think Rob Reiner's wife was giving Lips what he needed, and the fact they gave birth to a dog just made him want to stay.
I think I hear that dog in the background.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to mute it, but I can't.
It's working for the episode.
That's
exactly. Hey, you guys want Mad Dog? We're method here, guys.
That's Lips pleading his case in the background.
Yeah.
I thought you said your wife wasn't home. Turns out she's pushing a baby carriage around with a dog in it, and he's sounding off about it.
And what I was getting at, guys, is that I basically own Lips now.
Wow.
So, there you go. Yeah.
$15.
Yeah, he lives in a cage in my living room. So.
Wow. Okay, well, that's going to do it for Mad Dog. Do you have time for questions,
yes,
or you
I
got to
do.
go? You do? Okay. Well, in that case...
I don't give yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them!
Sing away.
Yes, chief.
Ooh, look at us.
There's Andy laying down that groove.
Yeah. 2013. Groove we've used many times over and over. Okay, let's see what we got here today. Oh, I scroll here. Yeah, okay, I think we'll do this one.
Oh, that was quick.
All right.
Well, it was sent to me.
Recently? Today?
It was.
Like a minute ago?
This morning.
All right. I like fresh baked yards of questions.
Yeah, it's fresh. So this week's Yardo Questions comes to us from Bob Caruso. who I believe you referred to as Rod Carew last time, Chris.
Nice. I did?
I did?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did. So here's what he says. Thank you for choosing my yard. First, although I strongly disagree about the content of his sign, a big shout out to Jeff in Winnipeg for getting it on TV. That showed impressive dedication to the show. Speaking of Jericho, since I enjoy him being on the show so much, these questions are all Canadian-centric in his honor.
Hey, and he didn't even know that we were playing a Canadian band, so it all fits in.
Yeah. All right.
Serendipity. It happens all the time on this show. See, even the dog is reacting to it.
That sounded like Lips' solo.
Just you guys have a background on this. My daughters ordered food, and the Uber driver showed up, so the dogs go fucking bananas when there's a car in the driveway.
Well, yeah. This is the show where it's welcome, so don't worry about it.
Good call. Yeah.
Where'd they order food from, do you know?
They wanted a McDonald's. They're teenagers.
It's what I had for dinner, and I'm 40.
Jeez, man, you can't eat McDonald's after you're 22.
Shit, I could eat it. Look at me. It's working.
What a skid.
Yeah, skid, total skid.
Yeah. All right, question 1. What are your all-time top 3 favorite Canadian hockey players? Mine are Eric Lindros, Brian Propp, and Ron Hextall.
Brian Propp, that's a good
Brian
one.
Propp, wow.
And then honorable mention to Chris Jericho's wonderful dad, Ted Irvin. That's what Bob says. So there you go.
That was a little bit patronizing there.
Was that too much?
Well, he did choose Brian Propp. I think Teddy was better than Brian Propp, to be honest.
Well, he's a Flyer, and Caruso's from Philly, correct?
Yeah, he did pick 3 Flyers, yeah.
That's right.
Let's just look at Brian Propp's overall stats compared to Teddy Irvin.
Here's why my dad is better.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad can beat your dad.
I got proof. I got proof right here. Let's see what his overall stats were, guys. I'm not trying to hold up things here, but
no, it's fine.
Okay, well, Brian Propp got 1,000 points. He's a little better than Teddy. I digress.
What did Teddy have?
Teddy was about one point every 2 games. So I think he's about 350. Played about 700 games.
I was gonna guess 400. Okay.
Let me get that right, because if I get it wrong, he might be mad at me.
He's gonna call in. You know, he's on the Patreon group. He's on here every week with us.
He wanted us to send him what we didn't need of the big turkey.
Yeah, Teddy's got 724 games and 331 points.
331, okay.
Brian Propp a little bit better. I take it back. Sorry, Mr. Propp, and all friends and fans of Brian Propp.
All right. So who are your top 3 Canadian hockey players?
Mine. Oh, fuck, that's easy, dude. I can tell it to you right now. In the 1987 Canada Cup, the greatest line of all time. Now, the Canada Cup is kind of like an all-star game where they play internationally, kind of like the Olympics are now.
Yeah.
Gretzky, Lemieux, and Howard-Chuck, all on the same line.
Oh, yeah.
And they scored the winning goal in overtime to win the Canada Cup in 87. Don't get any better than that. Obviously, you have Gordie Howe, et cetera, but for me,
yeah,
as an 80s kid, you don't get any bigger than Gretzky, Lemieux, and the late, great Dale Howard-Chuck, Ducky of the Winnipeg Jets.
Nick, Chris.
Pretty good list there. Nick, you would go on, or I could go?
I'm still nailing down my last one.
All right, I've got my 3. So when I first became aware of sports and hockey in particular in Detroit, the Red Wings was around 1973, 1974. The big star on the Red Wings at the time was Marcel Dion.
Of course, yeah.
Went on to play with the Kings.
Yeah.
Played on the line with Dave Taylor and Charlie Simmer, I believe. I can't remember what that line was called, but he went on
Oh, gosh, yeah. I'll find it.
He went on to bigger and better things with the Kings, but when I went to my first Red Wings game, he was the star of the team at the time. The other one is
called the triple crown line.
That's it. There you go. Great line. The other one, I would say, what was? Let me look up one more, just in case, because it's kind of a tie with this one. Hold on a minute.
I want to make a point here about Marcel Dion. Okay, he is by far, in my opinion, the most underrated player in NHL history. And I'll tell you the reason why. Marcel Dion is number 6 in all-time goal scoring.
Wow.
You think anybody would ever guess that?
No.
That guy was a scorer. I've got another.
Sorry, rephrase that. Not all-time point.
Okay, but
point
still,
getting.
scorer. not
number
goal
six.
scorer.
Well, but here's another one though. This is not very well known. Okay, another super underrated at number 5, Ronnie Francis.
Wow. These flew
you
under the
guys
radar mostly, but yeah, they put up put a lot of points on the board. No question about it.
Can you guys name the top 4 point scorers in NHL history?
Well, Gretzky's 1.
Number 1. Yeah, you don't have to get in order. Gretzky is one.
Ovechkin?
Nope.
No, he's goals. He's in the top 4 goal list.
Ovechkin's 16.
Gordie Howe, right?
Gordie.
Yep. You got 2 more.
Rocket
Gretzky
Richard.
and Howe.
Rocket
Who else?
Richard.
Nope.
Mark Messier.
Yep. Messi's number 3. Who's number 2?
Did we
Who's
say
the number
Lemieux?
2?
Super
Not
Mario.
Lemieux.
No, he's not that high, I don't think.
No.
He had all that time off.
Not
You won't
Yager.
get it because people forget how great this guy is. Think Pittsburgh Penguins early 90s.
Yager?
Yep. Number
Wow.
2 leading goal scorer of all time.
He played forever.
Yeah, he's still playing, I think.
Yeah.
He's trying.
He's like the modern day Gordie Howe who played in.
He's on the 4th
70s.
line for the
Yeah.
Columbus Blue Jackets. You got to look close to see him.
All right, so my second was the Gilbert Perreault, the Buffalo Sabres. He was on another notable line with, I can't remember the other 2 guys in the line, but he was on the French Connection line for the
Rene
Sabres.
Robert and
Rick something.
Richard Martin.
That's it, yeah, the French Connection line. I love those guys. And then the third one, you want to talk about a pure goal scorer, one of the most, along with Marcel Leon, probably the most underrated pure scorer in NHL history. Mike Bossy of the Islanders.
Yeah.
That guy could put the fucking puck in the net.
Yeah.
Every time that puck was on his stick, it was going in the net, essentially. That guy knew where to be, where to put it. Incredible goal scorer. And he passed away pretty recently at a young age, but I loved watching that guy, man. Just a pure
I'll never
scorer.
forget this. And by the way, just so you guys know, Mike Bossy not in the top 50 point getters of all time.
Really?
But Mike
He
Bossy
wasn't.
also had an amazing.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He also had an amazing 80s perm.
Yes, he did.
And
not quite Duguay level, but
Not Duguay level,
approaching
pretty
that.
And I remember watching Hockey Night in Canada with my grandma, and they showed a close-up of Bossy after something happened, and he went, "Fuck!" And my grandma was like, "Did you see that?" I said, "No." Good.
Yeah, good.
I don't have to explain it. It was like, he just said, "Fuck!" I saw it with my own two.
But see-
own 2 eyes.
but see, that doesn't surprise me that he's not high up on the points list because he wasn't much of a setup guy. But if you put that puck on his stick, he was going to the net and it was going in the back of the net.
Yeah,
A
good call.
pure scorer.
All right, Nick?
So, my all-time number 1 favorite is Steve Yzerman.
Good call. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I got to see him. We had seats at the United Center right behind the goal, kind of further up, but right behind the goal. Got to see him score a goal right up close. So that was pretty awesome. Just always solid, smooth, great moves.
Can I just say something too quickly? That one of the reasons why I love hockey, besides all the other reasons, there are so many guys in hockey that are the greats that you've never met anybody else with the same last name,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many Gretzkys have you met?
Zero.
Or Messiers, or Yzermans, or Sakics, or Espositos? It's like Ovechkin, Makita, Solani, Trache. You don't know any Howardchuk. There's nobody on the planet with the same last name as these guys.
I think that was one of the first things that appealed to me about hockey when I was a kid was how weird the names were.
Yes.
I'm like, this is like when you saw like the Swedish and Finnish names too. You're like, I don't even know what these sounds are.
Yeah, it's very
Wanna know my
exotic.
favorite NHL player's name?
Who's that?
This is real. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Dave Inkpen.
I don't know. Dave Inkpen.
No.
I just Googled it. It's a real name.
Spelled like ink pen, like INKPEN?
INKPN, Dave Inkpen. Now, what kind of a name is that? Is that Swedish? Is it Russian? Is it Jewish? Do you want to buy a dog?
Is he a First Nations guy? Well, no, they probably wouldn't have an ink pen. It'd be a quill or something.
He was a WHA guy. He was on Gretzky's first team, Indianapolis Racers, Edmonton Oilers. Never played a game in the NHL, but he was a WH guy. Dave Inkpen.
Let me just quickly throw in my favorite NHL name of all time, and I believe he was a Flyer for most of his career as well. Orest Kindrachuk.
Orest Kindrachuk. Everyone loves Orest Kindrachuk.
That guy was an animal, man. Great player. Okay,
He
Nick.
just looked like he was like perpetually drunk too.
Yeah, he's a psycho. Like, you know, in the Dave Schultz vein from that era. But
God,
what do you got, man?
I always liked, Andy will remember this, always was a Dirk Graham fan. Loved, I had a hockey card of him with that classic North Stars jersey on. Just one of the coolest looking jerseys that they ever had. And I believe he was like the first hockey player who was team captain of African descent.
What was his lineage?
I'm not sure, but I know he was, he was considered, you know.
Can I just say about Orest Kindrachuk? 650 penalty minutes in 500 games. So that's like a minute plus penalty time a game. Like, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, he had a penalty every time.
One penalty a game is going to Orest.
Yeah.
Right off the top.
All right, that's 2, Nick.
And
Who's
then
your third?
I'm going to throw out Paul Coffey.
Good player.
Good call.
Any,
Can't beat anybody from the 85. If people say to me, what's the greatest team of all time? And you can go 70s Islanders, 80s Oilers, or like late 90s Wings. It's hard to beat the 85 to 89 Oilers. Dude, they fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
They won 6 cups. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, 5 cups.
And Coffey was on 2 of those teams.
Yeah.
I think he was on the Wings when they were winning cups, right?
Oh, the Wings.
Good call.
I believe
I forgot
so.
about that. Yeah, good call.
Well, and you'd be remiss if you didn't bring up the dynasty that preceded the Islanders, those Canadians teams of the mid-'70s.
That's what I said.
You did? I thought you said the Islanders.
I meant to say Canadians too. Canadians, Islanders, and Oilers. Those are the 3 greatest dynasties of all time.
You said the Wings of the late 90s. I mean, I'm a Wings fan for my whole life.
You're right.
That Canadians team of the mid-'70s,
You're right.
What a run they had. What a lineup they had.
I missed on that. Yeah, it's basically 70s Canadians versus 80s Oilers.
Pretty much.
But early 80s Islanders too, man. They were great.
Yeah,
but so is the Wings too. Like those 4 teams.
Those would be
put
like
in a video game and just go to town.
They're the Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, Metallica of hockey dynasties.
Those late 90s Wings Avalanche games were fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was just chaos the whole time.
Well, the one where the right as soon as the puck dropped, the goalies left the net, headed to center ice. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, hockey time. We're done with that. We're going to move to question 2. Similar vein here. Who are your all-time top 3 favorite Canadian bands? If you include Kick-Axe, you may win points with Jericho, but lose them with all his fellow countrymen. I don't know if that's true, Bob. Bob's are Rush, Strapping Young Lad, and Killer Dwarfs. What do you think? Favorite top 3 favorite Canadian bands?
Yeah, okay, so I love Kick-Axe. They only had 3 records, so I'll give them an honorable mention. Rush, can't beat Rush. Still one of my all-time favorite bands. If you're from Canada, Tragically Hip is even bigger than Rush and one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. So I'll throw them in there as well. And then you know me with the early 80s power pop. You can throw Loverboy, you can have Aldo Nova, you can have Prism or Harlequin or Kim Mitchell. But I got to go with Streetheart. I love Streetheart. So I would say Rush, The Hip, Streetheart, and Kick-Axe are my 4 favorite Canadian bands.
How about you guys?
Was it 4 or 3?
3, but he added.
Yeah,
he said
all
Kick-Axe gets the honorable mention. For
Understood. 4. Which he'd be wrong about that, but it's his list. That's fine. you gotta have Rush on the list. I was big into Rush. They lost me at Grace Under Pressure, but I kind of gotten back into them in sort of recent years. But those, early albums up through Signals. I saw the Signals tour from like the 6th row at Joe Louis Arena. What an incredible concert that was. So,
but let me just say one thing. I think 80s Rush is like 80s Kiss or 80s ZZ Top. It's great stuff, but if you are stuck in the 70s Rush, which is fine, 80s Rush is fucking brilliant, but it's different.
Yeah, and I've come to appreciate it in recent years, but even before I gained an appreciation, one thing I will say is that the live album A Show of Hands that focused on the 80s material, one of the best sounding albums, live or otherwise, that I've ever heard. I remember when that came out, popped it in the CD player, and I was just blown away at how great it sounded. And that helped me gain an appreciation for the 80s stuff.
Yeah, and like you said, when you go back and listen to the record counterparts,
yeah,
dude, that is a fucking record, man. That's 1993.
Right.
So it's not 80s Rush, but that record, man. Dude, I listen back to Rush and just go like, fuck, like we'll never have another band like that again.
No.
So weird, so unique, but just fucking power. It's all power, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, you got to have them on the list. I'm gonna put them at the top of the list. Close second, we were talking about it before the show, but it's gonna be Loverboy for me. I fucking love Loverboy.
Yeah.
I had to go on a fairly lengthy car trip to run an errand today after work, and I got in the convertible. And I punched up Spotify and Shuffle. First song that came up was Notorious. I was driving through my area, blasting Notorious by Loverboy, and I loved, literally, pun intended, loved every minute of it. And so that's number 2 for me. And then number 3 has got to be Triumph. I mean, I was
good call.
Big into them for a long time. I saw the Thunder 7 tour, one of the greatest visual spectacles I've ever seen in a concert. We had the Just a Game, Progressions of Power, Allied Forces, Never Surrender, Thunder 7. What a string of albums that was. And just great material, great singing, great playing.
Two great singers, and Rick Emmett and Gil Moore.
Yes.
They're both super high, but they had different fucking tones to them. Very cool.
Yeah, great band.
Quick trivia. Do you know who wrote Notorious?
Desmond Child? No.
Close. Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, with Mike Reno and Paul Dean, but those guys were involved.
Together, huh? Okay. Nicholas?
Well, I'm not going to... Rush is on there, but I'm not going to say Rush just because it's on everybody's list. I'm going to point out that Paul Anka is Canadian.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's just the fucking way it is, eh?
So he's on my list. Steppenwolf, I think, counts as Canadian.
Come on, man. Steppenwolf.
Don't they?
Well, the fucking dude is Canadian, but Steppenwolf? Name 3 Steppenwolf songs.
The Pusher. Magic Carpet Ride.
Born to be Wild.
Born to be Wild.
Yeah, you got it with The Pusher. That's the one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had 2.
Yeah, name 4. No one can do
No
it.
one. The guys in the band can't even do it.
They can't even do it. They can't even do it.
One of my first concerts I ever got to go to was John Kay and his version of Steppenwolf at the time. So
Was that at the August Fest?
yeah,
So it was. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. We were kids, huh? Like
oh yeah,
less than 10, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with a band that I don't know much about, but there are a handful of songs that I really like. 80s kind of cheese. I'm gonna go Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger, huh?
Sorry, I was trying to look up Steppenwolf, and I looked myself up out of the fucking thing here.
That's right. Nick said Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger was huge in the 80s. Huge. They were like Canada, like a Canadian version of Duran Duran almost.
Really? I thought they were more like pop hair metal.
No, they had Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone.
Oh, right.
Someday.
Right.
Some-
Okay.
So check this out. Steppenwolf, though, John K., Goldie McJohn, and the drummer, Jerry Edmonton.
Oh, well, that's as Canadian as
I mean,
can
of
be.
course he's from Canada, and that's his real fucking name, too. So Jerry Edmonton, you can go suck it. You fucking guy. Jerry Edmonton from Oshawa, Ontario. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. His family
You
must
should be
have...
Jerry Oshawa.
Yeah. His family was disgraced and had to leave Alberta.
Think of this guy. I hate John Edmonton.
Yeah.
John.
Nick, ALB, what about you, man?
I don't know. I'm skipping my turn in the interest of time.
You always say that. You can't do that. That's a cop-out.
Okay.
Well, he's not going to say the Tragically Hip because he hated that song that we did on the show.
Did I? I know I didn't like
Hip's a grower,
that.
not a shower, man. Hip is a grower, not a shower. You got to grow up with that shit.
I'll say I'm looking in the chat. I see Shania Twain. She gets a pass from me. Not a pass, but she gets into the top 3 round.
You're putting thumbs down? You met her recently, didn't you?
Yeah, she sucked. She's terrible.
Really? What was wrong with her? Bad show?
She's just...
Hi, I'm Shania Twain live.
Ooh.
I'm phoning it in.
Yeah,
Wow.
she you know what?
Terrible.
She's just up there in age, and there's no energy.
No. Fucking, what's the name? Tanya Tucker and Winona Judd joined her for a song and blew her out of the fucking water.
So
Blew her out of the water. Winona Judd was awesome.
So Shania shouldn't be on the road, is what you're saying.
Yeah, Shania Twain.
All right, fair enough.
That's my verdict.
Well, all right. 3 Shanias for me. Let's move to question 3.
Jeez, Andy, you fucking guy.
No, I don't know.
Andy
I
just-
would be better
Give
at
us
the
a
first.
kick-axe. Come on, throw a kick-axe.
Sure, Kick-Axe, Shania Twain, and
Harlequin.
Harlequin, one of my favorites.
Dream Theater, James LeBrie.
Yeah,
Is he a Canadian?
he's Canadian.
Toronto, yep.
Yeah.
I can't think.
Sebastian Burke. You throw Sebastian in there.
Yeah, your buddy.
Fuck.
I don't know.
Shit.
I'm trying to think. Who's a piece of shit?
Sebastian.
Piece of shit, fat fuck Sebastian Bach. There's your
Okay.
clickbait.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. You guys haven't hashed that out yet, huh?
There's nothing to hash out.
Yeah.
If I ever see him, I'm going to punch him in his fat face and knock him the fuck out. Other than that, there's nothing to hash out.
Yeah.
Although I'll have to stand on a box to do it, according to what he said.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Typical 6'8" guy that's never been in a fight in his life, acting like a tough guy. Really? See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I'm Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. I don't play that shit. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's continue.
Enough is enough.
Like Steven Tyler sounds great still, doesn't he?
What did he say after that? What was his answer?
He went to like Rod Stewart right away.
He just skipped.
Rod Stewart's great too.
He just
Let's
kind of
move on.
stared at
He just
Richard Marx and
didn't
then
acknowledge.
Then started talking about Rod.
Yeah. He's like, well, I hate him, so I'm not going to say. I'm not giving him anything.
That uncomfortable pause where he goes, Steven Tyler's great too.
Isn't that what you asked him a Vinnie Vincent question? Didn't he do something like that, or say we're moving on or something?
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
listen, I threw the rod. I threw the bait.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't bite. I tried.
Yeah, that's all you can
Because we
do.
were talking about the Revenge album, so you got to mention Vinnie Vincent.
Sure,
He didn't
it's
want to.
fair game in that context. You didn't just come out of nowhere and ask him about.
Ask him if he saved Kiss.
Yeah,
like
right.
everybody does.
So we're here with Paul Stanley, talking Jericho, talking Revenge. First question: did Vinnie Vincent save Kiss?
Yeah. Did you see
Be
him?
honest.
Did you see his recent performance where he stood on a tank for 5 hours and finger tapped?
Yeah.
No, none of that.
And crushingly loud volume as well.
Well, Fleischman's supposed to have recorded some stuff with him. Just saying.
God.
It's all a scam.
Scam.
Bigfoot is on vocals and the Loch Ness Monster's on drums. There you go.
It's question 3. This is a long one. Let me see what are you saying here, Bob? What are you doing to me? Why do you do this?
Just read a few words
Running
before
off
the
at
question
the
mark.
mouth.
Yeah. Okay, who are your all-time top 3 favorite Canadian wrestlers? Mine are Roddy Piper, Abdullah the Butcher, and of course, Tooge. Love you, buddy, but please don't come looking for me for calling you that. Other than that, thanks for all the kind words you said regarding my Metal Pounders Union card prank. So that's another weird way that this tied in, because he didn't know we were doing Anvil.
Good call.
But that was Bob and his brother Mike were the ones who pulled that prank on us.
He calls it a prank. I kind of call it a scam.
Maybe scam.
Yeah, like kind of a real, like worse than the 1918 White Sox. That's just me.
Well, I mean, I was hurt. I'm acting like it was funny, but my feelings were hurt. I thought I was friends with Lips. I'm just friends with the Carusos. And they're bad. They're picking on me, basically. I'm being bullied by the Carusos instead of being friends with
all
Lips.
day today, you Skid, with your dumb kids.
Yeah, dumb kids, Skid. What's up with your hair, you piece of trash? My God, laying
Your hair
in.
looks much better now, man.
Thank
you.
you.
Got great hair right now.
Thank you.
It was not great back in that picture.
No, that was my senior picture in our group chat. It was shared, and I was berated for my hair choice.
Not a good look.
No, it wasn't good. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have any knowledge of products. I didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you just get lucky sometimes, and then other times it was just a bad one. You know.
Good hair day, bad hair day. I know it. Trust me.
So finishing off what Bob said here, he was truly flattered and humbled that you enjoyed his prank. And by the way, you've emboldened everyone in Pot Nation to lovingly call you Tooge. I don't know if that's true, Bob. You'd be careful if that was you. That's not for you, bud.
Watch it now.
So top 3 professional wrestlers from Canada.
I might need some help with this. I can't think
Yeah,
of,
I had to Google it.
I have one who's practically an unknown. Andy probably knows who I'm gonna say. I wonder if Chris J has ever heard of River City Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a guy. I don't know. Probably 90s. I think was his heyday. Just a hilarious gimmick in my opinion. It was Brother Midnight was his name.
Was he a African American individual? The hell is that?
Water bottle.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He had a mask on.
All right.
Hard to tell, but
did he have gloves?
I don't know.
Did he have a neck?
I have a theory. Keep the show going for 5
I don't
seconds.
think he was of African American descent, but I don't know that for sure actually. But as far as wrestlers people have heard of,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to steal Andy's number 1 of all time.
That's okay.
But I mean Bret Hart obviously.
Yeah.
Although I never understood how you can take Canada versus US and make it into a long-running feud, because there's really not much there in reality.
Yeah.
But South Park and professional wrestling,
They did it.
were able to do that.
It worked. You wouldn't think it would work on paper, but it did.
And Bret Hart had one of the best lines ever. I don't know if he came up with it. I don't know, but it was the one. I don't know if it was Philadelphia. I'll just say it's Philadelphia because it was the Carusos who one of the Carusos submitted this. But it was the line about if you had to give the United States an enema, you'd stick the tube in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
One of the best lines ever.
Yeah, that's a damn good one.
And I don't know. I might need help with.
So who were your first two again?
Brother Midnight and Bret Hart.
Okay.
It's the full spectrum right there.
There's Roddy Piper. There's Owen Hart.
Piper.
Not a Piper guy?
Piper was, there's the Michael Landon promo that I don't understand. After Michael Landon died, Piper was on TV, and it was, I don't remember what the whole idea was, but I'm sure he was supposed to be talking about another wrestler getting something going. He kept talking about how great Michael Landon was.
He got lost.
As a kid, I'm like, what is it? Why? What is this? I don't understand it.
So it's just a tribute to Michael Landon.
I guess so, yeah. I guess he just kind of...
So for that, Piper's out. Okay.
No, Piper was great for sure. And For Everyone is a great... is a jam.
Which, by the way, you know what the original title of that song was?
What?
Fuck Everyone.
Really?
True story.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty much what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
It's a song by a punk band that Piper wanted to record. And Vince was like, well, you can't call it that. He's like, why not?
He didn't get it. He's like, what do you mean?
Call it For Everyone, not Fuck Everyone.
Okay. So who are you giving your 3 to?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, Piper was great, really, but
yeah.
I don't know. I want to try to think of someone else.
Throw Jericho on the list. I'm not going to, but you can.
Shit.
Jeez Louise, come on.
Well, okay, I'll be quick with mine.
You know, some people consider me to be the greatest of all time, Chris L. Do you even know that?
I do not know that. I don't know a lot about wrestling. I'm going to do like similar to what chicks do in fantasy football. They go by what's the coolest helmet, and they pick the player, and they end up winning the whole fucking thing.
This is the equivalent that you're at a book club reading a book on guitars, and Eddie Van Halen's in that book club, and you have no fucking idea who Eddie Van Halen is.
That's a good
That's
point.
what's going on right now.
Yeah. Are you gonna go, Andy, or should I go?
You can go ahead if you got some in front of you.
Yeah, I've got this list in front of me. So, my first pick is a guy named Jacques Rougeau.
Oh my!
Simply because it sounds similar to Jacques Cousteau, the undersea king of 70s television. We've got another guy named Maurice Vachon.
Mad Dog.
You know what his nickname was, right?
I did not know what his nickname was.
Mad Dog.
I did not look that up. You want to know why? Okay.
It's literally Mad Dog Vachon, one of the all-time greats.
Not kidding. I did not know that. It's more serendipity. You want to know why I picked him? Because he has the same first name as Maurice Richard, and the same last name as Rogie Vachon. Another king / Red Wing at times in his career, and a Canadian, by the way, on some of those early 70s Cup teams. And then finally, I'll go with Jericho because he is the greatest of all time. But a close fourth, just because he has a great name, Dino Bravo.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. He was champion for a long time.
You want to know the story of Dino Bravo? Murdered by the mafia.
Yeah,
by
bad
the Canadian, by
situation.
the Montreal mafia.
Did not know that. I'm impressed that you guys know. Jericho, I would expect to know that, but you guys knew who he was. I'm impressed by that.
So you guys know,
he was smuggling cigarettes or something. He was working with some kind of untaxed cigarettes with the mafia or something, and something like that.
For Everybody was a cover of Mike Angelo and the Idols song "Fuck Everybody," with all the profanity removed.
Mike Angelo Badio.
Yes, and here's another one. A year after the album's release, Jim Steinman wrote lyrics to Hulk Hogan's theme and re-released it as Ravishing, the opening track of Bonnie Tyler's 1986 record, Secret Dreams and Forbidden Fire.
That's the pre-Real American song? Look how long we've been talking for so long that it ran out. It usually doesn't do that.
We got to wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
So who didn't go? Andy?
Me. I'm going to say one thing. Everyone talks about Calgary being the epitome of wrestling in Canada or Toronto. It's bullshit. Winnipeg is the greatest wrestling city of all time. I'll tell you the reason why. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Don Callis, Roddy Piper, all from Winnipeg. Give me any other city with 4 wrestlers as great as that from the same city. Calgary, okay, you got Bret Hart, Owen Hart. That's it. Toronto, I don't know.
Edge and Christian.
Yeah, Sweet Daddy Siki, go fuck your ass. Winnipeg is the fucking centerpiece of Canadian wrestling, and I defy anybody to tell me differently. Open challenge to anybody listening right now. Winnipeg over everybody in Canada. End of story.
It doesn't count if it's someone who broke in another city? It has to be from there.
No, we're talking people born in Winnipeg.
Okay, then, yeah. I was going to say maybe we can debate on Calgary if that was the case, but if it's
breaking in, there's 10 million. I'm talking about born in Calgary.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Hearts. That's it.
Let's see. Well, they weren't born in Hammond, though. I was going to say Terry Funk and Jimmy Valiant, but that's...
Yeah, Hammond, Indiana's giving Winnipeg a run for its money for the greatest wrestling city of all time. The Funks
Mr. Magic or whatever the guy Nick picked, Mr. Mystic, whatever his name was.
We got the Funks and the Boogie Woogie Man. That's all you need.
Moose Cholocks
Funks are not from Hammond, Indiana.
Funks are from Hammond, Indiana, and then
for the Double Cross Ranch in Hammond, Indiana.
Dude, look it up.
They lived on Grover, right behind where we grew up.
They used to hang out at Chris L's bar where you guys hung out. They almost got the gig on Pot of Thunder. But they weren't in town that week, so we had to call you fucking guys.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give I'm not going to give my whole thing, but my shout out to Pat Patterson as one of the all-time great Canadian wrestlers.
Amazing.
Yeah. So there you go.
My mentor.
There
I
you
love
go.
Pat Patterson.
Love Pat Patterson. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Chris Jericho. Thank you to all of our listeners.
Good to have you on again, man. And kick ass over in England. I know both these events are huge for you, so really excited for you for next week.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure to hang out with you guys, and it was a fun one. And as they're always fun. Like I said, out of the 33 episodes, I remember probably 25 of them as being some of the greatest moments. I cherish these times.
That's true.
Cherish.
I really do.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
we got to
find
Look
it.
forward to the next one, and
All right.
hopefully it'll be soon.
Yeah, hope
Absolutely.
so. All right, man. Good seeing you. We'll talk.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Cherish the love we have. We should cherish the